How's it going, guys? Bringer Platoon here, and welcome to another great game in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today I'm going to be in, once again, my favorite Tier 6 heavy of all time, the French Tier 6 ARL 44. So, a lot of people don't like this tank because of the terrible aim time and questionable accuracy of this thing. But, one of the positive things I will point out right away is its 105mm gun, which is, to be honest, the only gun you should be using. And here's why. 1. Your 105mm gun has 30 extra points of damage when you switch to APCR rounds. And its penetration for the APCR premium rounds is 223, which is honestly all you'll ever need. The 90mm gets 212mm of penetration for the base AP rounds, and when you switch over to premium APCR rounds, you get 259 or something like that. But, yeah, more damage is better. And here's why. The aim time is exactly the same for the 105mm as it is the 90mm. So, would you rather aim in for 2.9 seconds and do a measly 240 damage, or would you rather do 330 or more, or possibly less because 25% RNG goes both ways, plus and minus? And there's another point. If you switch to your premium rounds that get more, or 30 points of more damage, you can sometimes negate RNG fucking you in the ass, which, you know, helps. Not by much, but just a little bit, maybe enough to determine whether or not a tank is finished off or not, because RNG again. So this is a tier 8 lobby. I'm obviously not going to go out in the open to get fucked over by tanks that are a tier higher or 2 tiers higher than me. They'll pretty much auto pen me 99% of the time. So I'm just going to take my time here. I've already got the APCR loaded because although I am only facing, you know, tier 6 and 7s right now, I have a chance to run into something like an IS-3 and 165 base penetration for the AP rounds on the 105mm. Just ain't gonna cut it, even if I hit the weak spots of tanks. And like, yes, right now I'm very far away, or not that far away at 350. That's a good distance away. The accuracy is a little questionable anyway, so if you need a little bit more penetration, again, premium rounds are where it's at. But being highly defensive here, just spotting for my team, and I do have binocs on this tank, just because you take a long-ass time to aim anyway, and in lower tiers, view range is everything. I guess in any tier, view range is anything, and penetration helps too, but if you see the enemy first, and they don't know where you are, you have a chance to relocate, and hit them in the side if you can't pen them in the front. And, yeah, view range is helpful, and when higher tiers can't see where you're shooting them from, and you, being a lower tier, the lowest tier in the game, a tier 6, are dealing 330 damage on average every shot to them, and they can't see you, kind of leads them to question whether or not they should back off or not. Or whether or not they should back off. Yeah, I should have just ended that sentence there. That's fine. But yes, this tank is very deadly. In your own tier, you can angle the upper plate of this tank around corners, and you can bounce some shots off of it, but I would not count on it. Use it only in defensive maneuvers. The turret, the front of the turret can be penned by pretty much any 76mm gun reliably. If they hit your little square or mantlet, doesn't really matter. It's very weak. Expect to get hit in it a lot when people know what the fuck they're doing, and just, oh, the alpha on this thing is incredible. And yes, right now I'm going to have a poor result. I'm being rushed by 2 tier 8s. There's really not a lot I can do other than dish out one more shot before I am inevitably exploded by, you know, one of them eventually. But, moving on, Just gonna skip right ahead to the base capture, because that's what you do in this game when there's only one tank alive on the enemy team. Moving on. Whole whopping 4,200 or 4,300 damage combined in this thing. A tier 6 fucking French heavy tank, which isn't even really a heavy tank, but I topped the leaderboard because my tier 8s are fucking worthless, except for the UDES because this map is kind of ass for that tank. But despite that, god damn it. When you have to carry tier 8s and a tier 6 tank, it's really goddamn frustrating. So, I lost a little money there. I don't give a shit. I fired premium rounds the entirety of the match. Again, don't care. Had to carry tier 8s and to fight RNG most of the time, but you guys know that anyway. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.